Namaste. A warm welcome. I hope you all are safe. I hope you all are taking care. A lot of blessings and light to you and your family. I welcome you all today to my talk. I talk about Krishna Janmashtami, a festival that each and every one of us love and celebrate it with a lot of love and a lot of happiness. It's coming to the end of the month, and uh, many people celebrate it in various ways. We all know the story of why we celebrate Krishna Janmashtami, but just to kind of give a brush up, Lord Krishna was born on this day, and we celebrate it to bring happiness and joy and laughter into our life. We welcome him with absolute bliss and happiness. He was born to eradicate pain and suffering. There is so much to learn from Lord Krishna and his teachings. The Bhagavad Gita gives us important lessons, and I really wish it could be inculcated into school where children learn and know the importance and understand of how to be resilient and how to live life. The teachings in it is so simple and so beautifully explained by our beloved Lord. So since we have the festival coming up, I said, why not talk about him and speak about our beloved Lord? We know the story, and we know that he was born to Princess Devaki and Vasudeva. He was born in the jail, and then he was, in a stormy weather, his father Vasudeva moved him from there. So this is a story that all of us have grown up reading, hearing from our grandparents and parents, and we celebrate Krishna Janmashtami with that much happiness and love for the God. For me, Krishna Janmashtami has been very dear, especially after my children were born. Just before Krishna Janmashtami festival was celebrated, and the year I was blessed with my son. That year, someone had asked me to pick up an idol of Lord Krishna, and I didn't have it. And I went and picked up a small Balakrishna and had brought it home and had kept it in a cradle. And from that year, Krishna Janmashtami has been very special for me. And I celebrate it with a lot of love and gratitude for everything that has been given to me. It is not about praying and asking for, I want this, I want that, I need this. It is about having gratitude for what we have. And that gratitude is, God has given me more than what I have asked for. And so that is my gratitude. I pray to God saying, thank you. Thank you for everything that you've given me. And the biggest blessing is the breath of my life, especially today, with the times that we're dealing with. So this has been, I have seen Krishna Janmashtami being celebrated with a lot of excitement and extravagance in my parents' place and in my grandparents' place. For me, Krishna Janmashtami, as in my growing up time, was all about the sweets which was placed out there. I used to just look at the sweets and I used to be like, when can I eat it? That was more important to me than anything. But today, it is my connect with the divine energies. And I sit to pray. I sit to talk to the divine and connect and thank for everything that is there. So now that we have Krishna Janmashtami coming up, and it's coming at the end of this month, just after Raksha Bandhan, I think 8 days after Raksha Bandhan, I invite you all, do it in your own way, because you and I have our own beliefs and our own way of praying to the Lord. But please also put in the entire point of having gratitude for what you already have, and that is that you have the breath of life, that you and your family are safe. That is the most important thing that you should be praying for. Lord Krishna is out here to bless us and to help us get out of the miseries and the pain that we go through. Bhagavad Gita is written so beautifully, teaching us the simple lessons of life, and I really wish this could be inculcated into school for our children to learn and understand the importance. This is something that we grow up and then we are drawn to learning. There are some schools, I cannot say no, who have brought in Bhagavad Gita and made it a part of studies. And I also makes me very proud and happy that some of the Western schools and institutes have also got studies of Bhagavad Gita, and they encourage students to study it. to even get the simple principles of life and how to live life and how to balance relationships. It's so beautifully explained by our beloved Lord. And I hold those teachings very dear to my heart. And I kind of often pass it to my students and to my clients, saying that these are the teachings from the Bhagavad Gita. I take this time and opportunity to ask each and every one of you, take time, spend time, and do your own little ritual with your beloved Lord in whichever way. It's irrelevant whether this is an important festival for you or not, but giving a gratitude can always be done. And I really believe that gratitude takes us to tremendous heights and takes us through the most difficult waves that can come our way. We have the waves of COVID coming in and out, and there is uncertainty still lurking around. So at a time like this, the one thing that you and I can pray for is for peace, health, and happiness for one and all. The rest will follow when it has to. So this festival, take your time to pray to Lord Krishna, to have His grace and His compassion, and to help you, to kind of protect you and your family through the tough ride. I thank you all, and I thank you to be part of this, and I thank you for watching this. And do let me know, what do you have gratitude for? I have gratitude for my breath of life. I have gratitude for the blessings that's always been given to me. Please do share with me what is the gratitude that you have, and do share with me what is it that you would like to hear from me next about. I thank you so much, and I thank you for you watching this video. A lot of blessing and light and happy celebrations as we come into the month of festivity and we move on. I thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.